All right, today we have Hal Scheintaub. Hal is a teacher here at Ollie. He's been participating since we went on Zoom, and he teaches mostly science classes. So Hal, thank you for coming today to talk to me. I really appreciate it. Do you want to do a little intro on yourself, introduce yourself?
Oh, sure. Thanks, Megan. Glad to be here. So introduction, I'm about me and a little bit how I got here. I was a science major in college, and then after graduate school and postdoc, I was a research scientist, a public health research scientist for about a dozen years. My degree is in biophysics, and I worked in a number of departments, including the Department of Psychiatry, studying drug interactions. I always dabbled in teaching, and then after some years in research, I just made the jump into teaching full time, and I jumped all the way to high school because teaching high school is something that I always wanted to do because my mom was a high school teacher, and she seemed really happy doing that, and so it turned out to be not as easy as I thought, and teaching was a super challenge that I took on energetically, and my focus has been on education, and specifically science education since then. In addition to being in the classroom, I also I'm a consultant for curriculum development at the Scheller Teacher Education Program at MIT, which helps me it gives me a little bit of theoretical and intellectual focus on education as well as the practical experience. I've been fascinated with my time here at Ollie. It's been absolutely fantastic, and it's gotten me really interested in adult learning and how adults learn, and how their learning is similar to and different from the way youngsters learn. And I hope to bring some of that to bear in my classes to come.
Great. So how long have you been an Ollie member?
I guess it's about 2 years. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, I never took an Ollie class. To be honest, I never took an Ollie class. I just
really
became an Ollie teacher.
If you were to take an Ollie class, what class might you be interested in?
I would probably take a poetry class or an art class.
Yeah. Well, we have some of those, and you do get free certificates if you're an instructor. So when you have the time, you'll have to think about it. All right. So knowing that you really didn't start teaching with Ollie until the pandemic, what got you into that?
I took a class here at USM as a student, and the class was regulation across bioscales, and it used, I guess in the lingo, it's called a trade book rather than a textbook. And the class, it was a graduate level class. The class was absolutely fantastic. It was the best. It was the best class I've ever been in. And the concept of using a well-written science book that you could buy at the bookstore as the focus of a class really intrigued me. And I talked with Rachel about it, and thought perhaps about bringing the idea into middle school or maybe a public school. And then the pandemic hit, and I realized that this would be maybe more perfect for adult education, and maybe more perfect for Ollie. And so I thought, well, I'll try it. I'll put it out there, and we'll see how it goes. And it was fantastic. It was great. It was obviously different than the graduate class, but it could still use that same structure of reading a chapter and then enriching it with a lot of good current science. It was really it was great.
Right. So the class you're planning for summer, can you summarize it in a few sentences?
For the summer class. So yeah, then Richard Feynman and the Feynman Lectures really helped me as a physics teacher. When I switched from being a research scientist to a teacher, I had no clue how to do it. And Richard Feynman and his teaching technique and his examples and his lectures were inspirational to me. And I thought I'd really like to continue that tradition and use his most popular book, 6 Easy Pieces, to bring some exciting basic physics to anybody who would want to have a go at it. And it turned out to be incredibly difficult to do.
Oh no.
Really, really hard. And absolutely wonderful. I mean, there was 2 sections, and it was great. But and that's so I wasn't good. And I thought it was really hard for the students, and I thought, well, I'm not gonna do this again. It was just way too hard for everybody. And the students asked me, are you going to give this class again? I said, well, gee, I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'm not really sure that you guys liked it, and I think it might have been a little bit too tough. And they said, oh, no, you have to offer it again. I said, well, if I'm going to do that, I need your help. You have to tell me you have to give me some feedback about the class.
Wow, that's great. So for anyone that might be new joining this class, what kind of student do you think would really enjoy this?
So I would say that if you were a science major and you want to freshen up your science, well, maybe you didn't take a lot of physics and you like some physics, then it would be great. If you've never, in the same way, if you've never taken physics, you could also take the class and I think really benefit from it. It's the interactions of the students that really makes the class.
So as far as the structure of your class goes, is it more of a discussion-based class, more lecture, a little bit of both?
It's mostly discussion. I usually in this class I start out with a question, and students know the question in advance, and there'll be a discussion at the beginning for about a half hour, 45 minutes about around that particular question. And then I might deal with some new material for maybe at the most a half an hour. That would be sort of like a lecture, but it's really sort of more like demonstration. And then then it sort of moves back and forth between questions and presentation. But it's sort of more. I would say that the presentation is more about the description of a particular experiment and an analysis of the results. It's not like a dump of a whole lot of material. It might be some terminology that you need, some explanation of just exactly what the experiment was, opportunities for questions, and results, and then just group discussion, what can conclude, and then extensions. So that's sort of how it goes.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Hal, for taking time to talk to me. I really appreciate it. And good luck with the summer term.